Okay, Shalom Aleichem. In the past, we learned, we had in the past a question if one should go to Yeshivat Esder or regular yeshiva, the Tshuva from Chacham Ovadia. Today, we want to touch on something that has to do with that on a different angle, and that is one that has a permit for a gun. We spoke already in the past. If anybody wants to see and learn whether it is needed halachically, is it recommended, is it an obligation to apply for a gun permit. I made a podcast with a big place. It's a big podcast. It's called Gun for Hire. So anybody that wants to see it, I speak over there about all the sources of Chazal and the Torah that one should definitely in our time and age should apply for a permit for a gun. Since there's a lot of Jews that have a permit for a weapon, which is blessed and very good, just for the deterrence that people should know that Jews are armed. The next step is that you have to be trained. So the question is, should you work in the whole day, and you have a class at night, you learn Gemara, you learn Daf Yomi, or somebody who's in Kollel, he learns all day. Should he find time to go and train? Because you have to be prepared for any future danger. Right now, let's say there's no imminent danger, but in the future it could be. What should be the din? So maybe we could learn that from the Noda B'Yehuda, famous Noda B'Yehuda in Yoreh De'ah, Siman Resh Yud in Mahadura Batra, in Mahadurat Nina. He writes, he was asked over there about a person that died, and they want to make an autopsy. They want to cut the body. They want to learn on the body how to find cures or how to treat a person that would come with the same disease, same sickness. In that very example, there was somebody with stones in the stomach, and he didn't make it. Back then, the medicine was not that advanced, and he didn't make it, and he died. So now, you have a real question. Should you do nituche metim, autopsy, you cut the body, you learn, and you know for the future what to do and what to avoid. What should be the din? So he writes that it's asur. If you have, although pikuach nefesh doche kol haTorah kula, if you have some danger in front of you, you could do everything except shalosh averot chamurot. The whole Torah is nitchet. The entire Torah is pushed for pikuach nefesh. Somebody's in danger, you can violate the entire Torah except shalosh averot chamurot, gilui arayot, shfichut damim, and avodah zarah. Besides that, everything you do. So nituche metim, that should be definitely permitted. What's wrong with that? He says that that's true if you have somebody who needs it right now. If you're just trying to learn for future, something that might happen in the future, that's not permitted, because you're doing right now, you menavel et hamet, you take in the body that is kadosh, it's holy, it's davar kadosh, and you are abusing it. You're cutting it to pieces, slicing it. That's not permitted. That's how the Noda B'Yehuda is posek over there. The Chatam Sofer says the same exact thing. They both agree that this became a psak for generation, that you can't do anything like that unless there's somebody right now that needs it. It could be in our time and age that it's not as their places, that it was small villages or even towns with not too many people, whoever's there, so you wouldn't have necessarily a person that needs it right now. But today, that the whole world became a very small place, and if you find out how to treat something, it goes worldwide. Could be that that's considered somebody that needs it right away, right now, because there are people around the world that could be very likely in a need for the knowledge, the medical knowledge. Okay, but we learn from this Noda B'Yehuda v'Chatam Sofer a concept that you don't need, or you're not allowed, to violate any Isur of the Torah, and he writes openly, he says, not Isur Torah, and not even Isur de Rabbanan, nothing. Any Isur that you have, you're not allowed to violate in order to learn about something that's the danger isn't right now in front of you. Something that might be in the future. The Chazon Ish, he explains the Noda B'Yehuda today on the new Noda B'Yehuda. You have the Chazon Ish printed on the bottom of each tshuva, and Chazon Ish explains it a little bit different. He says that it's not the question of whether you have somebody who needs it right now or he doesn't, and it's just for the future. He says that is it common? Is such a thing common or not common? That's what the Noda B'Yehuda really means. That's the way Chazon Ish understands it. Which means if you have something that's, let's say, that would be very nogea. You have a disease that's spreading, like we had in the pandemic. So something that's spreading, even though it's not right now coming to town, it's still far away, it's still in China. You have to start taking things seriously because it's something that's common, even though it's not in front of you. It's on the future. It might be in the future, but it's very common. Something that's common. He compares that to what we learned in the past about a city that's sitting on the border, and you know that enemies want to come and attack, so everybody's obligated to go and help them out. They're in the border. If the enemy comes to the border, they'll be able to penetrate into the land itself. That's very, very dangerous. It's something that requires everybody to go out of the way and help out. Okay, so that would be the explanation of the Chazon Ish. Now, not everybody agrees to that. The Machaneh Chaim, the grandson of the Khatam Sofer, disagrees. He says Pikuach Nefesh is Pikuach Nefesh, and even if you have Pikuach Nefesh that's in the future, it's not right now, but it's Pikuach Nefesh. If you learn how to medically treat such a patient, you'll need it for the future. That's also considered Pikuach Nefesh, and it's Duchek, cutting the body, slicing the body, learning, and whatever it is. These are the different opinions. Most of the poskim go with the Noda B'Yehuda and the Khatam Sofer, but at least we learned for our question. Our question is somebody who's learning Torah. Learning Torah is very, very important. And there's Isur also not to be mevatel Torah, to stop learning.
You meant Chazon Ish, right?
Yeah.
Like Noda B'Yehuda and Chazon Ish, not Khatam Sofer.
Khatam Sofer and the Noda B'Yehuda hold the same way. And the Chazon Ish lived way after. He lived in the previous generation.
So who held that you could do it?
The Machaneh Chaim. Okay? So that was the grandson of the Khatam Sofer. Now like this. If we're learning to our example, a person that's learning in Kolel, or a person that has a shiur. I mean, if you want to take off time from your work and go to train, go to a range and start shooting and train yourself, that's very good. But you have a shiur at night. Should you go? Should you not go? According to the way we explained in the Noda B'Yehuda and the Khatam Sofer, if the danger is not now, something for the future, maybe maybe there'll be a future danger. Maybe in the Bezat Hashem shouldn't be, but maybe something in the future. You don't have to go out of your way right now to stop learning, stop doing something, or make it's a isur. It's definitely a isur. Bitul Torah is a isur chamur also in the halacha. It's brought down as something extremely severe. So definitely to stop learning in order to go and train yourself. Obviously, when you have a free time, people that are not like Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai learning day and night, they have free time, they should go. In other words, a person that has been Azmanim, summer vacation, you have time that you're not learning, and you could, and instead of making barbecue, instead of just resting, unless a person really needs a rest, but instead of that, he can go and train. That's definitely the best way to do things. Okay, so that's according to the Noda B'Yehuda Khatam Sofer. Again, we explained according to the Machaneh Chaim, since there might be future danger, and you might be saving life by training, you have to do whatever's needed because it is still under the umbrella of Pikuach Nefesh. Now, we mentioned before that, let's see. The Chazon Ish explains what does it mean Pikuach Nefesh. Chazon Ish writes the following thing. He writes this in the Igrot. Chazon Ish has Sefer of Igrot, all kind of letters that he wrote to people. They printed it, and he says the following words, which is really, you can learn a lot from what he says. There's a big sugya, what is considered pikuach nefesh? What falls under pikuach nefesh? I wrote this a lot. I wrote in my svarim a lot about what's considered pikuach nefesh or not. The guideline is very vague. What's considered, what falls under that category? So he writes like this: Tzarich zehirut yetera be'eter pikuach nefesh. You need to be very careful when you come to that leniency of pikuach nefesh. בדברים שאין פיקוח נפש בפנינו אלא בעתיד. Exactly our scenario. It's something that for the future. We said that you're considering it pikuach nefesh. We have to be very careful because the category, again, the definition of it is not very clear. ואם באנו להפריז על המידה, יפתחו כל החנויות בשבת בטענת הפסד כל הפרנסה ויבואו לפיקוח נפש. Which means like this. He says that if you go and exaggerate with this term of pikuach nefesh, you want to take it all the way. You say that even a very far fetch scenario would fall under the category of pikuach nefesh, so people would work on Shabbat. Why? Because they might think to themselves, you know what, if I don't work on Shabbat, I might lose a lot of money, and if I lose so much money, I might not have enough to feed my family, and people will starve to death. You might have different calculations like that. You might say that, you know what, I have to open my store because I have a supermarket, because maybe somebody needs right now Tylenol desperately, and he has very high fever. So maybe there's such a thing, and he doesn't have Tylenol in his house, and he doesn't have where to buy it from. So all kind of different ideas that could come up to your mind. We don't do that, says the Chazon Ish. That's very, very far-fetched scenario. You don't have to worry for such things. Tzarich lishkol b'moznei tzedek. You have to evaluate everything with the right scale, with the Torah scale, with the eyes of Torah, with Da'at Torah. Ubichlal, if we're dealing with bitul, with Chilul Shabbat, it could be also Chilul Hashem. When we're dealing with Chilul Shabbat, somebody that would violate Shabbat, so you have to be very careful, because Chilul Shabbat is considered also Chilul Hashem. People see that your store is open, or whatever it is that you're doing, if it's not permitted halachically, even though you might think that it can fall under a very, very far scenario of pikuach nefesh, that's not permitted. Okay, that's in the terminology of pikuach nefesh atidi, for the future. Now, we mentioned in the past Rav Moshe Feinstein. Rav Moshe Feinstein says something very interesting. He says that one is not obligated to go out of his way and learn, study, let's say, medicine in order to become a doctor to save people. Not for the future, not for now. Even if right now there's somebody that is dying, lo alenu, somebody that needs medical attention, he needs medical care, and you have the opportunity to go and learn, study refuah, let's say you can do it very quickly within a month, and you can save the person, you're not obligated to do that. You're only obligated to help out with the tools that Hashem gave you right now. You're not obligated to go out of your way and educate yourself or do things for the future, not even for the future, for right now, to go to and do things that you don't have right now. So he says like an example to that, or a parable, would be a mashal to a person that would go to work. He says that I should go to work in order for me to be able to give tzedakah. You're not obligated to go to work in order to give tzedakah. If you have the money right now to give tzedakah, you give. If you don't, you're not obligated to go and find a job and start working in order to give tzedakah. According to that, definitely one doesn't need to go and train himself, even if the danger is right now. If you don't know, you don't have to worry about it. Now, we're dealing over here with a case that the danger is to others, not to yourself. Could be that if it's a personal danger, people might attack you, your family, could be that the din is very different, because a person should definitely do whatever he needs to, whatever he's able to do in order to help himself out. So if one doesn't have parnasa, and he needs parnasa, and the only way to get parnasa is to learn and study a certain topic, something, and then he'll get a job, he's definitely obligated to do whatever's needed. He's not allowed to sit idle and do nothing, right? So that is Rav Moshe Feinstein. I just have a question on Rav Moshe Feinstein from a story in the Sefer Hasidim. Sefer Hasidim writes the following thing. He says that the pasuk says, "Al tihi tzadik harbe, v'al titchakem yoter," which means, don't be too much of a tzaddik, don't be too smart, don't be too wise. Just do what's right. What's the story? He says there was a story about a certain kid that his father told him, go and learn medicine, go and learn the books of how to cure people. In other words, go and learn the profession, become a doctor. So the son told him the following thing. He told him that if I learn and I become a doctor and there's somebody that needs my assistant and I'm not going to help him out, even if he's in a different city, I'll be obligated. I'll be the one responsible. I'll be punished for it because I was able to go to the other city and cure him and I didn't go. More than that, he tells him, the son answers his father. He says to him that even if I go and I help him out and I'm not successful, I'm going to be punished as if I killed him. So the father and his relatives told him, no, you're wrong. It doesn't work like that. If you're able to study and you're able to help out other people, you must do so. And this is how the Sefer Hasidim ends up. You see, not like Moshe Feinstein says, open Sefer Hasidim that says that you have to help out, you have to go out of your way and learn and study in order to be able to help out others. More than that, the Ramban says that if one did whatever he can, let's say a doctor, he did whatever he can to help out somebody, and that somebody, that person, that patient died, it's not his fault. He's considered a nus. He did whatever he can. So that's a question that I had on Moshe Feinstein's, open for answers. Chazak Baruch.